Matt here, CapForge Bookkeeping and Tax. And what I want to talk about today is how you can put more money in your pocket by lowering your cost of goods sold. We have over 1,100 e-commerce accounting clients that we do the financials for every single month. And I can tell you without a doubt, cost of goods sold is one of the biggest expenses that you have as an e-commerce business owner. And if you can lower the cost of goods sold, lower what you're paying for the products that you're selling, you're automatically going to be more profitable. And that is generally the single biggest expense that you have as a business owner. And so the more you can reduce that, the more leverage you have to produce more profit, right? You can reduce your office supplies expense, you can reduce your insurance expense, but generally speaking, those are a small piece of the overall pie. Your cost of goods sold is the single biggest piece of your pie that you can control, you can make smaller to put more money in your pocket as an e-commerce business owner. And I'm going to go over 6 ways that you can cut those costs down. Don't do just one, try them all. Try and figure out how you can impact your business by leveraging all of these different strategies, but not all of them are always going to work for everybody in all cases, but hammer away on all of them or as many as you can that apply, and you'll see significant results. As a result of doing that, you'll see better results by making that effort. So 6 R's of lowering your cost of goods sold. First R is renegotiate. If you originally ordered a product from a supplier and you took the price that they gave you and you've been doing reorders ever since and never asked for a better price, never talked about renegotiating your deal, then now is the time to do it. Even if you have in the past asked about improving prices, getting a better deal, bringing the costs down, now is a good time to bring it back up. Renegotiating is the easiest way to immediately improve your profits. If you're paying $2 a unit currently, you can get it for $1.75 a unit. You've immediately made a 16% improvement in your cost of goods sold, and that's going to translate directly to more profit for the business. So it never hurts to ask, but you want to do more than just ask. You want to talk about better pricing. If you're ordering more regularly, you can also ask about terms, right? If you can pay some down now and some later, preferably some later after you've had a chance to sell some of the inventory and pay it with existing cash flow from the products you've sold. So asking about pricing, asking about terms, asking about discounts. Also, if they aren't going to give you, or they're not willing to budge on some of these other things, another thing you can do when renegotiating or negotiating the first time, if you never negotiated at all, is you can talk about a guaranteed order quantity. So let's say you're going to order 2,000 units now, and then another 2 months, 2,000 more, another 2 months after that, 2,000 more. What you could do instead is say, look, I will agree to order 10,000 units over the next 12 months, but if I agree to order 10,000 units, I want this much reduction in price, or what's the best price you can give me? And honestly, you were going to order them either way, right? But by agreeing to order them regardless and making the number that you're going to order over time the quantity that you want to talk about pricing for, you may again be able to get a better price than you're getting today by just ordering as you go and not guaranteeing future orders for the factory. So if they can count on you, then you should be able to get something for that reliability, for your steady business. For them, that should be worth something in terms of a discount for you, or payment terms, or both. Bottom line is, if you're not asking to get it, nobody's going to give it to you. But as a supplier of products, you should be constantly on the search for the very best price from your supplier. Okay, the second R is resourcing. If your current supplier isn't willing to budge, or even the price that they're giving you when they come down isn't as good as you can get somewhere else, you don't necessarily want to stick with them or need to stick with them, right? So you should always have at least 2 or 3 options that you can go around to compare prices, to see what the best deal is that you can get. And maybe even more than that, maybe if it's a common product that you've got, or there's a lot of manufacturers that offer it, then shopping around even more, getting 5 quotes, 10 quotes is going to pay off. We had a client recently who cut the cost of their product in half. They'd never bothered to go to any other supplier. They used the first supplier they found that they thought was good, and for years were selling it that way. Finally decided maybe we should look at some other options, shopped around, found a different supplier who not only cut the product cost in half, but also was producing at better quality. So not shopping around is likely hurting you. You may be getting the best price. You may have found the very best supplier on your first try, but chances are that if there's more than one person that makes the product that you're selling, it's good to take a look and see what other options are out there. Even if you go back to your current supplier with a quote, a lower quote from another supplier, you may be able to get them to come down on price where they wouldn't before when you were just asking them to come down. Now that they see that the threat is real, you may take your business somewhere else. They may be more willing to work with you to bring the price down. So definitely want to continue to shop around, have alternate sources available in case your current supplier stops meeting delivery times, can't meet delivery times, can't fulfill your inventory needs, or just in order to make sure you're getting the best price at all times, best price, best quantity. So resource is the second R. The third R, repackage, right? Again, whenever you originally ordered the product, maybe you just kind of took the default packaging or you didn't give it a lot of thought, but now you know packaging, package weight has an impact on the price you pay, the package quantity, quality has an impact on the price you pay, so you may want to rethink how you're packaging your product. And if there's an opportunity here to put it in something less costly, that may very well be worth it if your customers don't particularly care what it came in. We have a client whose product used to come in a really nice box. It was printed, it had a nice logo and 4-color printing and the whole thing. And that was a significant part of their overall product cost. Well, they realized after doing a test that they could switch to poly bags and go from over $2 per unit for packaging down to less than 30 cents per unit for packaging, all in, including everything, and it had no impact on sales. But it immediately put almost $2 per unit back in their product, in their pockets as profit. So definitely take a look at your packaging options, make sure that what you're using makes sense, and if not, if you think you can cut down to something less expensive, simpler, then do a test, and if that works, then you've got your answer. All right, the fourth R is reprice. So if your cost of your unit is $5 and you sell it for $20, you've got a 25% cost of goods sold. If you can raise the price to $25, $5 out of $20 is 25%. $5 out of $25 is down to 20% cost of goods sold. So one way to impact the cost of your goods sold as a percent of your revenue is to reprice the product. So if you're only competing on price, if the only reason you're even able to sell the products you're selling is because you're selling it as cheaply as possible, you're undercutting all your other competitors on price, but essentially destroying your own margins and taking all the profit out of it, then maybe it doesn't make sense to sell that product at all. What you may want to do instead of selling that product is look at ways to up the value, to create more of a premium product or at least a mid-range product where you're able to price it at a margin that makes more sense, that gives you more profit. So price is one of the ways you can control what your cost of goods sold is as a portion of your sales. And trying to be the low price leader is almost always a losing battle, right? So unless you're the factory that makes it and you can survive on a few cents per unit, you can't really compete on price. Someone will always be able to go lower. So instead, what you want to do is figure out how you can be pricing your products at a level that you've still got demand, you've still got customers that want it, they want it over other choices, you're not choosing because of price, and it gives you a healthy margin on your product. All right, the fifth R is rebundle. All right, I'm clearly stretching a little bit on the R's here, but go with this. Rebundling, or bundling in the first place if you're not doing it, allows you to manipulate the cost of goods sold for the bundle versus each individual item. So what that means is you could potentially manipulate the perceived price, the perceived value of what somebody's getting by mixing in some low cost, higher value or higher perceived value items, or the bundle itself has a higher perceived value to kind of juice the margin on the overall package. So let's say you have one main product, costs you $5, you're selling it for $20. Then you add a couple of $1 accessory items, a bag, a power cord, some add-on pieces to the main thing, right? And now you've gone from $5 of cost to $8 of cost, but you can take the price from $20 to $40 or at least $35. What you've effectively done is increased your margin, decreased the cost of goods sold relative to the price for that bundle. So if you haven't thought about bundling, think about what you could potentially add to your product mix to allow you to charge a higher price because of the higher perceived value. And one of the best things you can add to your product, if possible, if it applies in your case, is some kind of digital add-on. So you get the product plus you get a training video, or you get the product plus you get a digital coupon for some complimentary service or feature or add-on, something that you can get essentially at no cost, but use it to add to the perceived value of the package, price the package higher, and now your actual cost of goods sold has come down because you're charging more, but it costs you the same to provide that item. So think about how to bundle, including how to bundle in potentially things like training videos or recipes or digital downloads of software or an app or a coupon or something along those lines that you can source for free, doesn't cost you anything extra. You bundle in with your same items that you're already selling, or physical items that have a better, higher perceived value when bundled together, even though the actual individual costs are lower for those extra items. And that's a way to increase your revenue versus your cost of goods sold, bring the cost of goods sold down and your profit up. Almost any product you can think of has things you can add to it, accessories, things you can bundle and kit together, digital downloads you can include as an added incentive that, one, makes your product stand apart from the competition because it's got these extra things that come with it, but two, increase your margins by lowering your total cost of goods sold relative to the price that you're now able to get for it. So that's the fifth R, rebundle. And the final sixth R, rebrand. So as I alluded to before, if you're only selling products because you're the lowest cost product, what that essentially means is your brand, if you had one at all, doesn't carry any weight. Nobody's looking for it. They're just shopping price. What you want to do is figure out a way to build a brand so that people are shopping for you. They're looking for your name, your product name. They're looking to buy something specific, not the generic or just a keyword search. They're not comparing your product with an Amazon Basics type of product. You've got something distinct and unique and a competitive advantage that relates to your product that other products don't have. When you have a brand and you have a brand that people are interested in, a brand that people are searching out, you have much more pricing power. You can achieve higher margins. You're not competing on price, and you're not having to spend as much on ads to drive people with generic keyword searches because they're out there looking for your brand. It's like being Coke, right? If somebody wants a Coke, they're going to scroll past the Pepsi and the Sprite and the generic, store soda brand to find that Coke, and they're willing to pay a premium for it, even though it may seem like a commodity product. It's fizzy sugar water, but it's the Coke brand of fizzy sugar water. People are willing to pay a premium for that. You're not going to be Coke, but if you can build a brand around your product catalog, then you've got some advantage over people who don't have that, and you're not competing on price, and you can improve your margins and your profitability. So hopefully that made sense. There are 6 R's. Try as many of them as you can to bring your product cost down relative to your sales. And even a small change in your cost of goods sold is going to translate to a pretty significant change in the percentage of profit that your business earns, making not only more money for you, but also, should you decide to sell the business, significantly increasing the value of your business. So give them a try, see how it goes. And again, if you're not really sure what your cost of goods sold is relative to your income, or how profitable you are, or how much you can increase your profits, then give me a call. Let me know. Let's talk about bookkeeping. Let's talk about getting some financials together for you so you can stop wondering if you're even profitable or how helpful these changes would be. Let's put some hard data around that, some actual numbers you can use to make decisions. We can help you make decisions, and then you can really juice up the business, get more profitable, and make all this time you're spending on it and money you're putting into it pay you back. All right, thanks.